The secrets of Blackwood Manor. In the gloomy town of Blackwood, shadows whispered secrets along the cobbled streets, while the towering trees seemed to nod solemnly. The night felt darker here, the air heavier, as if the town itself held a mysterious heartbeat within it. At the center of this mysterious village stood an old mansion, Blackwood Manor. Once a grand symbol of the town's prosperity, it had fallen into decay, much like the town itself. Its windows looked like eyes that had seen countless sorrows, and its walls seemed to hum with stories of the past. This very mansion drew the curious Jonathan Pemberton, a well-known but eccentric investigator of the supernatural. As Jonathan approached the mansion, he felt a shiver down his spine. The place exuded a palpable sense of sadness. He pushed open the iron gates, which creaked in protest, and walked through the overgrown garden, where ivy had overtaken the stones and nature had reclaimed its territory. Reverently, he climbed the steps and placed his hand on the large wooden door. Pushing it open, he stepped inside and was immediately enveloped by shadows. Inside, the mansion showed the wear and tear of time. Dust hung in the air, and cobwebs adorned the corners like grim lace. Jonathan's sharp eyes noticed something odd. The furniture, though old, was arranged neatly as if waiting for a permanent guest. He lit his lantern, casting a warm glow around him, and ventured further. Opening the journal required skill, but Jonathan's patience held strong. Inside, he found a maze of ink and emotion, entries that revealed the mind of Matilda Blackwood, the last matriarch of the Blackwood family. Her writings mixed daily life with cryptic notes, and occasionally a haunting name appeared, the Shadow Man. As he read, Jonathan pieced together a disturbing story. An evil spirit had haunted the Blackwood family for generations, demanding sacrifices and spreading despair. The family had tried to fight back, but one fateful night, they fell into darkness. The final entry sent a chill through Jonathan. Just as Jonathan closed the journal, a sudden draft extinguished his lantern, plunging the room into deeper darkness. The investigator's breaths grew shallow as he fumbled to relight the flame. In the oppressive silence, a sound that wasn't his own intruded, a soft, ghostly rustling, accompanied by a nearly imperceptible whisper. Guided by an unknown force, Jonathan found himself drawn to the fireplace. He looked into the soot-blackened hearth and saw that the back wall was crooked. Pushing against the loose masonry, he revealed a secret passage, a narrow stairway leading down into the abyss below the mansion. With the lantern flickering back to life, Jonathan descended the steps, each one groaning under the weight of time. The air grew colder, the darkness thicker. At the end of the stairway was a hidden chamber, its walls covered with mysterious symbols. In the center stood an old altar, and upon it was a single, ornate mirror. He approached the mirror and saw not his own reflection, but shadowy outline, a figure cloaked in darkness, with eyes burning like embers. The Shadow Man. Within the glass, the entity spoke in a voice that seemed to pierce Jonathan's soul. Realization dawned on Jonathan. The mansion was not just a building, but a prison for the evil spirit, its walls enchanted to trap the Shadow Man. The Blackwoods had succumbed to his whispers, but their fight had been in vain. Now, Jonathan stood at the crossroads of destiny. In a firm whisper, he said, "I will end your reign of fear." He remembered an incantation from Matilda's journal, one that spoke of breaking the ghost's hold through sacrifice and purity of heart. Jonathan recited the words, feeling energy surge around him. The symbols on the walls glowed eerily, and the room vibrated with power. The Shadow Man roared in defiance, but his presence began to fade, absorbed into the mirror until nothing remained but an empty, glassy void. As the chamber settled, a profound silence enveloped Jonathan, a silence not of death, but of peace. Exhausted but triumphant, Jonathan returned to the world above. The mansion's shadows seemed less oppressive, the air lighter. He left the mansion and walked into the dawning morning. Blackwood itself seemed to breathe easier now, freed from its spectral chains. Jonathan Pemberton left Blackwood that day, but the tale of his encounter would live on. The whispers of the past had been silenced, and the mansion, once a place of mystery, now stood as a silent testament to courage and resolve.